What's going on, y'all, man? As y'all know, the AP All-American teams just dropped, right? Got first team, second team, all that good stuff. We're gonna highlight the majority of them. So let's go ahead and take a look and look at it. All right. So first off, let's start with my Hurricanes. Yes, yes, yes. They both deserve it. First team, obviously Xavier Restrepo, one of the best receivers in college football. I think humbly, obviously, I know you got several guys to Torrier, McMillan, obviously from Arizona. I think you got to throw Travis in that conversation as well. But man, Xavier's that dude, bro. Like I got a chance to see him up close and personal when they played Georgia Tech, and that dude there is tough to stop, man. I mean, the dude's a speedster. He's a versatile guy. Can play in the slot. Can play the boundary. When he gets the ball in his hands, he's a touchdown waiting to happen. Just absolutely, just a great talent. Now, Cam Ward, man, great year for him. Sucks we not getting to see his talent play in the college football playoff, unfortunately. I know he's had some conversations and talks about that. Probably getting to a sweet spot of a 16 to 24. I don't really disagree with him. I think that would be pretty cool as well. You know, they have to figure out obviously the buy situation and automatic bids and everything like that because they got to fix that part of it. But man, it just hurts to not see a talent like his in the college football playoff. Man, I mean, he was great this year. Some of those miraculous wins, you know, Virginia Tech, California, and just the great season he had, over 3,000 yards passing. Man, he was phenomenal, well deserved. Man, obviously was a Heisman finalist. Kid was electric, man, and he's one of those rare guys. You got out of the portal, and he did, and he delivered what he said what he was going to deliver. And happy to call him a Hurricane and happy to have him play for my team this year. All right, now let's look at the first team All-Americans basically by each conference. And I love this actually that the ACC obviously in there with the Big Ten, but one of the highest conferences getting first team All-Americans. Obviously SEC leads with 6, but I like to see ACC right up there competing with the SEC and obviously the Big Ten with 5, man. So love that. Big Ten had 5, Big 12 had 4, MAC had 3. Mountain West had 2, Sun Belt 1, and Independent 1. So that's pretty cool. They're getting a nice share of everybody in there. All right, now looking at the first team offense, Nick Nash, obviously San Jose State. He was a finalist for the Blittenkopf Award as well. We obviously talked about him in the phenomenal season he had, but like I said, I think Travis deserved it. He had like 7 100-plus yard games. I think Nash had maybe 4. Torrier McMillan, another really good player out of Arizona. He's going to be a top-end draft pick. I think he should go first round. He was phenomenal for the Wildcats this year. You know what I'm saying? Popped out for 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns this year. He was explosive. We just talked about obviously Xavier Restrepo, well-deserved, man. Had a phenomenal year. Love what he brought to the table. All right, now pretty good list as far as the offensive lineman. Kelvin Banks, outstanding, man. Won the Outland Trophy as the best interior offensive lineman, man. He had a good year, was one of the highest graded guys in college football this year, man. Dude's a beast at the 6'3", 320. Will Campbell's another outstanding guy, 6'6", 323 for LSU, man. He had a phenomenal year as well in creating time, obviously for getting somebody to survey the defense and do his thing. Was also good in running plays as well. Guards, Western Michigan, an underrated pick right here, Addison West, 6'3", 305. Man, he had a pretty good year as well for them. And then you have obviously Willie Lampkin, North Carolina. He had another pretty good year as well on that offensive line. It paved the way for Amarian Hampton, who also made All-American team as well. I think he made second team. He was phenomenal this year. And then Jake Slaughter from Florida, center. Yeah, he had a good year, man. Another one of the highest graded guys in the SEC for what he was able to do, man. So a great pick there as well. And then obviously, tight end, underrated pick, Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green. Now, Fannin Jr. popped off, y'all, in his last couple of games. In the 4 of the last 5, he had 100 yards receiving. He ended up finishing the year with 100 catches, over 1,300 yards, and he had 9 touchdowns, man. The kid was phenomenal. So I think that's an underrated pick, but he had a phenomenal year at the tight end spot. And obviously, Cam Ward, we already talked about him earlier. I stand on what I said, man. Phenomenal talent. Would love to see him in the college football playoff. All right, then you got running backs. Obviously, Ashton Jeanty, who's been phenomenal. Doak Award winner. I'm sure he's going to win if that has not been announced yet. But he was a unanimous pick, and rightfully so. 2,000 yards on pace with, obviously, Barry Sanders. Phenomenal year for him. Cat Scatterbo, I can't disagree with that, man. I seen him in that championship game, and my Lord, he was running that rock. Iowa State didn't have no answer for him, man. That's an underrated pick as well. Can't wait to see what he does in the CFP. That's another guy, man. Underrated, man, getting it out the mud, but had another great year, man. He's just a tough, stocky guy that got a little bit of speed and burst to him as well, man. Definitely think he deserved to be on this list, too. All right, and obviously kickers, Kenneth Almendares from Louisiana Lafayette ended up winning that one. And then obviously all-purpose, I like that they got this one as well, almost like all-purpose athlete type of thing. Travis Hunter, hey, well-deserved, man. He definitely deserved to be in that conversation as far as that. All right, now let's look at edge rushers. Abdul Carter, Penn State. That's another dude. That dude is, yo, when I talk about guys that could change NFL teams, it's a couple in this draft. It's Abdul Carter and it's Mikael Williams. Now, I don't know if Mikael got it. We're gonna go through the list a little bit more. But Abdul Carter, I watched that game against obviously Oregon. That dude is something serious, man. Like next level, man. Type of dude, man. Only thing I disagree with, Donovan Esgarescu of Boston College. He had a good year, man. I would like to see Kyle Kennard on this list. No disrespect. I love my ACC guys getting on here for sure, but I think he should have deserved to be on that list. All right, interior lineman, you got Mason Graham of Michigan, who is a junior. You also have Walter Nolan of Mississippi. Good names on here to kind of see them on their linebackers. Jay Higgins of Iowa, man. The Iowa defense is always super elite, man. So love to see him kind of getting on here. And then Sean Dulac of Buffalo, another outstanding pick as well. Now, I'll tell you a guy that made a lot of money for himself, Jahdae Barron, man, the Texas senior, only 5'11". He had a phenomenal year so far. 5 interceptions, nine passes defensed. Outstanding corner out there for Texas. We'll get a chance to see him, obviously, in the CFP playoff this upcoming weekend, man. But he was great. And I think he's going to be a guy that could be like probably a steal in this draft. Like last year, we seen Quavion Mitchell, Toledo was a steal. This guy could potentially be a steal in this upcoming draft as well. Then obviously, Travis Hunter at corner. I mean, I don't disagree, man. 4 interceptions this year. I think he had over 30 tackles. And he shut down one side of the field, man. Definitely well-deserved. And obviously just asked to the awards. But, yeah, definitely, like, that dude only rarely ever got beaten. And when he did, he always recovered. Now, safety-wise, yes. Look at Caleb Downs. Yo, phenomenal talent, bro. Y'all see that one interception he had when he basically, like, caught the ball but scooped it right off the turf? Yo, Downs is the real deal, man. I think he got one more year before he goes to the league. That's another game-changer type of dude. And Xavier Watts, got a chance to see him when they played Georgia Tech, and that dude flies to the ball. I mean, just a hard-hitting dude, just intelligent, high football IQ. Like, yo, that kid is a stud as well. All right, now let's go to second-team offense. Travis Hunter at receiver. I don't disagree with that. I like that they highlighted the other guys as well. Travis has gotten a lot of awards. I thought he had a pretty good year. I know he won the Heisman, one of the best two-way players the game has ever seen. But I liked that pick for them. And I like, too, like I told you about the All-SEC, I thought Trey Harris got third team. Like, yes, Trey Harris deserves second-team offense. That's what y'all seeing here. Yes, Trey Harris was a stud this year, yo, for Ole Miss. Like, before he got hurt, like, no, them teams did not have an answer for him, man. Like, that dude was a next-level type player, man. So, well-deserved. Love to see him getting the highlight and exposure right here. Jeremiah Smith, hey, that writes itself. A phenomenal freshman year. Bright future ahead for him out of Miami Gardens, Florida. Ohio State to be forced to be reckoned with him for a long time. All right, obviously, tackles and guards. Spencer Fano, Utah, pretty good year for him. And then Wyatt Mullum of West Virginia. Tyler Booker of Alabama had a really good year at the guard spot, blocking the interior, creating gaps in lanes, obviously, for Milroe to run through. He had a pretty good year. Donovan Jackson of Ohio State. They dealt with so many injuries this year, man. Had to shuffle the offensive line, but he was that one constant for them that always was just being able to make big plays. Shout out to him, man, just being able to kind of get through all that, so much shuffling, and still be able to make an impact. All right, now tight end. I like this pick as well. Tyler Warren of Penn State, another stud to go along with Abdul Carter. Had the most catches, set a Big Ten record, I believe it was, and most catches for a tight end in a season. So he's phenomenal. Seth McLaughlin, Ohio State, man, a really good year for him as well in the interior. Love what he was able to do. And here, I might get some flack, but I don't disagree with this. I think Shedeur Sanders is second team All-American. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I think Ken Ward had a really great year, man. I would take Ken Ward, to me, right now over Shedeur. No disrespect. I think Shedeur's top 2. Hey, if I'm wrong for that, hey, I guess I'm wrong for that, man. But I like him at number 2. Great pick here. Omarion Hampton, man, that kid there is a stud as well. Had a great year. Just announced the decision to hit the NFL draft. Junior, he's phenomenal. Love that he was on this list. Caleb Johnson, another one that made it out of there for Iowa. Love to see Dylan Sampson there. That's the only one I disagree with. Dominic Savada was another one that made. And obviously, all-purpose, you had Desmond Reed of Pittsburgh. Now, here, and like I told you, I would move Kyle Kennard to first team. That's the only thing I disagree with that they had on it. They had the Boston College edge rusher. Put Kyle Kennard there, man. Dude was phenomenal. Obviously got Marshall sophomore, Mike Green, who made it here, interior lineman, Derek Harmon of Oregon, Alfred Collins, linebackers, Anthony Hill Jr. Loved his season, bro. That dude is a stud. He's like another like Jalon Walker. I think he should have been on this list as well. At the linebacker spot, he won the Buckets Award. Those two right there, something special. Danny Stutzman of Oklahoma, I get it, but I still like Anthony Hill and Jalon Walker better than him. All right, next up, you got corners. Noah Williams of California made it. Jermod McCoy is another one that made it for Tennessee. And Malachi Starks, what a phenomenal talent for him. He's another absolute stud for the Georgia Bulldogs. All right, Michael Taft is another one that made it defensive back for Texas. Go get the full list on AP.com. That's my reaction. That's the standouts for me.